one should question what the DPDPA will do. Will it protect people and their privacy, or will it protect the government and public officials from scrutiny and from by potentially bringing the press within its ambit? But one thing which is very prominent is that there's the absence of any kind of journalistic exemption. Now, what is a journalistic exemption? Whenever you gather any kind of details in your reporting about any person, their name, their address, you essentially include personally identifiable information about that person in your report. However, in most data protection statutes, there's an exception, and even in the up to the 2023 drafts of the data protection law in India as it was being proposed, there were exemptions which were present for journalists. When you gather a news report which is published in public interest, you can make these disclosures. You do not need to seek consent of people who may be involved in an incident, because then it leads to very absurd consequences in which people may not give you that consent. So you can't report on, let's say, an accident. You can't report on a instance of political corruption, because the very person who's accused of it may not give you consent. Now, the absence of this exemption, of the journalistic exemption under Indian Data Protection Act, makes it potentially opens up any journalist to prosecution under it. The Press Club of India actually organized joint signatures by several press clubs and I think thousands of journalists. And the response by the Ministry of Electronics and IT was that before we notify the rules and make this law operational, we will address your questions through a FAQ, a frequently asked questions dossier, which would not in any way, I think so, make it better, because it can't change the law. But even this FAQ has not come till now, and it's been a few months.